This is the post-race press conference for the Gillette Stadium, round 15, 450 Supercross main event. Congratulations, Jason Anderson, Chase Sexton, and Marvin Muscan. Jason, I'll start with you. That start of the 450 main was perfect. You and Eli both up there together. You got Cooper Webb, the defending champ, too. Just kind of a title fight with all you champions. What's going through your mind on that opening lap, knowing what you had to do and knowing that the guy you needed to beat was right there? Just kind of take me through those opening laps.
Yeah, just those opening laps were crazy. I felt like I had the start for a little bit, and then I got pushed out. But, yeah, it's two of the past champions, and it was crazy. And obviously, Eli's in front of me, and he's kind of the guy that I got to beat. And for me, realistically, I just want to win races. That's all I can do, and that's all I could do to, extend this thing longer, or, stop it from happening. But at the end of the day, it's going to be tough to have anything, happen and win this thing. But for me, just winning races is awesome, and the battle was cool in the beginning, but, man, that track was pretty gnarly.
Follow up on that. Early in the race, Eli looked aggressive on Cooper, like he was trying to make the move, didn't get it. Then you made a pretty aggressive move. No contact, but he stalls. What was that like for you? Was that an opportunity that you saw it, you wanted it then, or were you willing to pace yourself into this thing? Just kind of take me through that moment.
Yeah, those first few laps are a little bit crazy. I think it's just chaotic, and you're trying to pass each other, but especially when you have Cooper up front, he's a good rider, and he's kind of a tough one to pass, and he's also some days really fast. But luckily he was giving Eli some fits, and I was able to sneak in there and zap Eli. I honestly didn't know he stalled it, but it was tough because like when you're in the beginning and Eli's trying to square up some of the corners and stuff like that, some of the guys come from behind and they kind of catch you by surprise. And I think I kind of caught Eli by surprise. And, I was able to get by him and get out front pretty quick.
Congratulations. It was a great ride. Great show. We'll start live in attendance. Steve Mathis. Go ahead and kick us off, Steve.
Can I ask a question of each of them, please?
Yeah, we'll let it slide. Go for it.
Thank you. Chase Sexton, first up. They knocked the whoops down for the night show, it looked like. You were getting through them pretty good all day long. Were you happy about that? And what are your thoughts on kind of how much easier they were?
Yeah, they knocked them down, I think, for the last qualifying. And the last three races, I felt pretty comfortable in the whoops, which is good because the first couple of rounds, there were big whoops, and I didn't really feel that comfortable. So today was the first day I was actually bummed they cut them down. But, they got really gnarly in the main event, so I don't know how they would have been if they would have kept them big. But either way, they were tough. So I was definitely a little bit sad to see him cut them down. But, again, it's for the safety, and they were pretty hammered and rocky. So I would say it's probably for the better.
Sure. Jason, that rhythm lane, you pulled out the 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. Did you just do it in the main? Did you have it in your back pocket? Did you eye that up at all during the day and be like, I'm going to save it? Or take us through that?
Yeah, I think most of us in practice hit it a few times, but it just the way that the track wore down and stuff like that made it really tough to have it be ideal to hit every lap. And in the main event, I hit it, I think, maybe 2 times or so. I was just trying to figure out if it was faster, but I don't think it was very ideal to hit it every lap. But, it's tough the way this track broke down because underneath some of those little dust pockets, you didn't know how bad the kickers were or anything like that. So you were trying to avoid that, and that's what I was trying to do those first couple laps. If I could do a rhythm that was off of what everyone else was doing, I could stay maybe somewhat in the smoother part of the track. But, it just wasn't ideal for the whole time.
All right, Marv, outside of last week when you crashed, you've been on fire lately. You feel as good as ever, really, as the series winds down?
I've been feeling pretty good all year, but we actually this week had different suspensions and stuff, like a package, I would say, so that the team brought, and right away, like it was on Tuesday, and I saw some improvement, so I was really happy. I rode on Wednesday with it, and rode press, and I felt really good. So I think it's a combination of a lot of things, just having fun in general, and with my program and being in California and then enjoying the racing. Obviously today it's great to be on the podium on a tough track like that. I didn't start it off the main great, but I was in a great position and I was consistent. So it's great to be on the podium.
All right, Jason Wygant.
Yeah, I'll go to Chase Sexton. It's Jason from RacerX. You were closing. You got it under a second on Jason at one point, and he was able to get back away. What happened there? Did you feel like you had him at one point, and then what made the difference?
I think there in the middle, I was a little bit slow at the beginning, and then after Eli stalled it, I kind of picked up the pace a little bit. I knew Jason was going to be good from watching him pretty much all day and in the heat race, so I knew if I wanted to win, I kind of had to go with him. And there was a part in the middle of the race where I felt like I was riding really well, and lappers were definitely a factor. I think lappers caught up with him and then got me too, so it was kind of a yo-yo. Obviously, he got away towards the end, but my riding was really good, so I was just stoked on that. But yeah, I think it was just a yo-yo effect with the lappers, and then obviously he broke away, and it was hard to catch back up.
Michael Antonovich.
Cool. Thanks, Daniel. This one is for Jason Anderson. Jason, 2 wins, 2 weeks in a row. But the big difference between this week to last week is just the size of the track. How did that translate for you this week to go from something as big as Atlanta last week to something as tight as the stadium was today?
Yeah, it's 2 completely different tracks. It's honestly this one, I really like Atlanta, and I feel very, very comfortable riding like a style track like that. And coming into this weekend, you know, obviously we've been racing this traditional stadiums and stuff like that, but I'm not as comfortable sometimes in these tracks that break down and stuff like that. I feel like I'm more of like a West Coast guy when it gets like really dry slick, kind of like an Anaheim or something like that. But luckily all our works that we've been doing, like the bike feels really good, and I've been feeling as comfortable as can be. I don't think anyone was fully comfortable out there, but I feel better than I ever have on these style of tracks, and when they break down, I feel more in control than I have been in past years.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
David Iser.
Thanks, Daniel. Jason, you now officially have more wins than you did even in your championship season. I know you're disappointed that you're not tighter in the championship hunt coming down, but lots of positives this year to take away.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most wins I've had in a season. I feel like it's the most laps I've ever led in a season. Even when I won my championship, I didn't really lead a lot of laps. I won some races, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, for me, you know, winning these races and getting these podiums is surreal for me. You know, after the little dry spell I've had the past few years, it's just it's refreshing, and it's giving me, you know, that second win. So it's I'm thankful for it, but at the same time, I got to stay on my toes because, you know, these guys are really good that I'm racing against, and they're not going to make it easy on me, obviously, and I want to keep, you know, my success going. So I gotta keep on my toes.
All right, thanks. Congrats.
Thank you.
Next one, also live in attendance, the big.
Yeah, Stefan Legrand with LeBigUSA.com. Just want to say something about Jason. I just say it was refreshing. I mean, what do you think you did to be there tonight compared to the previous year?
Man, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I'm working hard. I made some switches up in my program. I live back home in New Mexico now. That's different. I don't do the whole California thing, or not California, the Florida thing anymore, and I'm just kind of doing it the way I want to do it. And honestly, it's kind of nerve-wracking because, you know, Kawasaki signed me, and I'm switching up so much that I don't know if it's going to be a success, you know. So for me, it's cool to be able to do what I want, work hard, have the trust from the team, and as for my life, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm happy right now. So I think that's all a recipe for success. That's what I think, you know. But I'm enjoying myself, and I'm gonna try and ride this wave as long as I can.
Can I get another one?
Yeah, quick follow-up. Jason, how has Kawasaki been on those decisions, just letting you go where you want to go? They've been pretty cool about it?
I mean, I go there and I've won 2 races, so I don't think they're too bummed on it right now, but I'm sure if I didn't win these races, they'd be like, get back to California, you know? So I don't know. It's working right now, but at the end of the day, they invest a lot of money into me, so it's kind of, you know, a risk for them to let me go there, but it's I've been enjoying it, and it's a little bit more mellower, you know.
Nice. Go ahead.
Yeah, another question for Marv. It seems that the lappers tonight was pretty tough. I mean, and you got a lot of them. I mean, can you explain how was it for you in the back?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always part of racing, those lappers. On a track like that, it was, with the condition and the dirt, it was tough. I try to rev my bike as much as I could, but those guys are also racing, you know, for positions. And then that rhythm section, before that double triple. I got in there and I had to roll that, so that cost me a lot. But besides that, you got to be careful. Like after the whoops, like there were some lappers, and you don't know if they're gonna go left or right. So I didn't triple that a few times. It's you got to be careful and try your best at the same time. So yeah, it didn't really play in my favor, but at the end I stayed in third place, so it was good.
Jamie with Moto X Pod.
Let's go with Chase. We keep hearing how important getting another win this season is to you, but I want to know how that compares to really just still improving the bike, cleaning up the little things that you've been working on, the little mistakes to prepare for outdoors. What weighs more on you with 2 to go?
My goal after Seattle, after having weeks of me laying on the ground, I just wanted to get back to being on the podium. And now that I've done that, obviously I want to continue to be on the podium, but now the goal is kind of changed to going for wins. I've been close, but Jason obviously has been riding really well, so is Eli. So it's not easy, and I'm doing my best I possibly can, and I feel like my riding and confidence is getting better and better every weekend, and I think that's only going to help me going into outdoors. So, like I said, I just want to finish this year strong and go for as many these last 2 wins and just have some fun. I think, like Jason and those guys said, when you're having fun, it's just easier. It's easier to go out there and go fast and feel comfortable. So that's my goal, and yeah, overall happy with how I've been riding.
All right, thanks.
Nick with Moto Limited.
Yeah, thanks, DB. Let's go Jason Anderson. Jason, next couple rounds, we've got a bit of altitude. We've seen in the past that you tend to struggle with that, Salt Lake City, Lakewood, anything like that. What are the preparations you've got coming into this? And, is there anything different this year to try and deal with it?
Where I live at in New Mexico, my home's at 8,000 feet. So that's where I live right now. So it's not like too much different compared to what I train on every day. So that's kind of a big reason why I wanted to do that, and I think it benefits me, in the long run. So that's kind of a big reason why the move I made.
Absolutely. Thanks, mate.
Yep.
Michael Lindsay.
Yeah, my question's for Marvin Muscan. Marvin, we're nearing the end of the Supercross season. At the beginning or late last season, it was announced you would be on a Supercross only contract this year, with all the talk of Antonio Caroli coming over, possibly Hurlings. Is there any opportunity for you to race outdoors, or are you looking forward to actually concluding your season after Salt Lake City this year?
Yeah, it looks like after Salt Lake City, I have some time off. Yeah, it might be a possibility, but to be honest, at this stage of my career, and since October, the goal is to be Supercross only. So I'm gonna stick to that and see what happens in the future.
Revista Moto.
Hey, thank you, Daniel. Hey, Jason Anderson, in the summer, there was, when the rumors first surfaced about you switching teams, there was some concern or questions about a new team and how you would perform. Were you aware of any of those concerns or questions from either the media and or fans and or the industry that you would have a difficult time? Meanwhile, you're incredibly competitive and if not performing incredibly well this whole season. I'm just curious if you were aware of those concerns that were facing you or the challenges that were people had concerns or questions about your performance this year as on a new team.
Yeah, 100%. I scoped the Instagram comments, so I know what's going on. Yeah, I guess everyone thought I was a gamble or a liability, but it seems like it's worked out so far, and hopefully we'll keep it going.
Jonathan McCready.
Jonathan McCready, GetDrop.com. Question for Chase. Chase, you've worked with James Stewart and also Chad Reed, or at least rode with Chad a little bit this year. How does their advice compare, and what's the biggest thing you've taken away from those two? Because their mentality racing each other was quite different in their styles. Do they give you different advice, and what have you learned from them?
Yeah, working with James last year was it was cool. He obviously taught me some stuff with. I used to stand up a lot more, or I used to stand up pretty much all around the track. So I learn how to sit down a little bit with, especially in Supercross, and learn how to plant the bike a little better. I think a lot of people I see a lot of Instagram comments of people blaming a lot of my crashes on him, but yeah, it was all on me. So as far as Chad, he came down and rode at Tyla Rad Trays where I ride, and it was more just me being able to ride with him, and I can confirm he can still go fast in the whoop. So it was cool to ride with him, and just kind of be around those guys is cool because they have so much experience, and with me lacking a little bit, it's cool to get that side of it, and thankful to have them obviously in my past. But yeah, as of right now, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, and it's been my dad and I and my trainer Peter Park. So it's a good group, and I'm happy with it for right now.
And just as a follow-up to that, it looks like you have the bike set up now, probably how you wanted it at the start of the year. What's the biggest takeaway you've learned in your first 2 years of Supercross? Is it the bike setup's really critical, or is it more things you've learned from your own racing on the track with the other riders?
I mean, I think it's a mixture of both, but I would say in the 250 class, bike setup wasn't such a worry, I guess. I think it was pretty easy to set up a 250, and then going to the 450 class, you got to learn what you can get away with, and also figure out how to ride those gnarly tracks and be safe on them. So I definitely went down at hill and Supercross, and it wasn't good in the middle of the season with just how I was feeling on the bike, and wasn't comfortable. So, and it showed. I hit the ground a lot, but now it's cool to feel like I kind of felt like I did on the 250. So yeah, overall feeling good, and we kind of have the bike working how I want to now, and it's not perfect, but I don't think anybody did. So just gonna keep grinding.
Good job, thank you.
Thanks.
Dan Colvin.
Hey, this message is for Chase. Chase, this is Dan with Main Event Moto. Has your approach changed in the last couple weeks? It seems like you're a little bit more patient, and taking a podium, is that an okay thing now? Because it seems like earlier in the season it was win or bust.
I mean, my goal is obviously to win, but being on the podium isn't such a bad thing, especially with how stacked the class is. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I was win or bust, but when I had those opportunities to win races, I was going to go for them, and I've had those opportunities again. And last weekend I went down leading, but tonight it was really just a track that you didn't want to push over the edge on, and I felt like I was riding in a comfortable mode, and with the lappers, and just like I said, how gnarly and how the track was breaking down, you didn't want to override it. So that's something I've had to adjust to, and you can't obviously over push on these tracks with the 450, and you get wheel spin really easy. So for me, it's something I've had to adjust to, but overall, goal is still to win, but thankful to be on the podium.
We'll go to Joseph Allen with Race Day Live, here live attendance.
Yeah, Chase, I want to follow up on you talking about having some highs and some lows this season. At 22 years old, you're sitting on the podium in the 450 class. How has your age played a part in your season this year?
I wouldn't say it's played a whole bunch of a difference, but last year I definitely felt like I was young and definitely inexperienced, which I still am, but I feel like I'm definitely more of a part of this class, and compared to last year, I feel like a lot more matured, and I feel like I'm just in a different spot as far as riding and mentality. So I would say it's a good thing to be on the podium at 22, but all these guys have been on the podium when they're young, and it's cool to see those guys still racing. And obviously, Jason and Marvin are a lot older, but they've been winning since they were young too. So my goal is just to kind of do that, and like I said, my goal is to win races. But it is cool to be up here with these guys, and I've grown up watching them, so it's fun.
And Jason, with you taking your training to New Mexico, the dirt seemed dry tonight. Do you feel like you prevail when the track seems to have more conditions that are dry compared to wet conditions?
I mean, the dirt was dry tonight, but it still had like these soft little pockets to where it broke down a lot more than, say, a West Coast track would. West Coast is like, say, like you go to Phoenix or something like that. The form of the track doesn't really change much. It's more you're riding on top of it. And here there was like these little like soft pockets to where it broke down. So it was quite a bit different. But yeah, I feel like I am really good on dry and hard packed tracks, but I'm trying to switch it up and be good on all of it, you know? So, yeah.
And last question for Marvin. You have some fight in you, and you look like you're pushing really hard to me, it doesn't seem like you're ready to come to an end. I know a lot of people are asking, but how do you feel this year? Do you feel like you still have more to prove?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, no, I mean, I don't feel like I do have to prove anything. I just do what I can right now, and I've been enjoying it, and it's been a very different season for me, a different program. I've been staying in California. I've been riding pretty much on my own, but working on technique with David Villeman, and the physical program as well with DV. So a lot of changes, and it was kind of like a test for me to see, hey, if it helps me, then having fun or doing good, then yeah, I'll keep going for sure. And to be honest, that win in St. Louis was a little bit unexpected. My goal, I've done 2 podiums before St. Louis. It was great, but to win St. Louis was amazing. So there's nothing compared to, I mean, winning. It's just awesome, and I enjoy it so much. Obviously, when you do a race like Phoenix, like St. Louis, you want to be racing your whole life. And even being on the podium is really cool. You know, you work hard, you fight hard for the people around you that work hard. I think about my family at home, my close friends. They're watching me, and they don't want me to retire. So I mean, a lot of people don't. So yeah, it's cool when you do good, but when you have tough races like a week ago in Atlanta, I got 10th place. It's not fun. And I've always said, I don't want to be racing and be 10th place. You know what I'm saying? I want to, if I'm competitive, then yeah, I'll be racing.
Don Maeda, last question.
Can't see Jason. All right, so you've had a few dry years since your Supercross championship. Boom, this year, 5 wins. What's made the biggest difference? Is it a combination of things, or is it the new team, new trainer, married life?
All of the above. I feel like my life's good. I needed a change. And I just, I feel refreshed, It's tough whenever you go through like those years, and it's not like I didn't like racing or anything. I just wasn't having the most fun with the whole program and stuff like that. So for me, I needed a change, and to be honest, going into this year, I didn't, like, personally, I didn't know if I was damaged goods or not, So even though, like, people don't like to say it, and you like to say you believe in yourself, you also have those doubts, But I knew if I put in the hard work and I worked really hard, and I knew what that looked like, because I've had success in years past. I knew what that looked like. So I put my head down, and I just looked at each day as a new day, and just tried my hardest, and just knew that trying my hardest would hopefully get me here, and it's been pretty dang cool. But I like it, so I want to keep it going, and I'm enjoying the team. I'm enjoying my home life, and it's all been really, really good for me, and it's it's good, and winning.
Congratulations, guys. See you in Denver.
Thank you.